So guys, we made it home with another tractor. One you guys have seen before. It's one of the ones we got there, South Central Kansas, out of that 4-tractor bunch. It is the 806 propane standard. Went down there this morning, left about 8 after I dropped the kids off at daycare. Ran down there to Jeff's and got it. Jeff wasn't there, but Dylan helped me load it. Big thanks to Dylan. Helped me get her on there. But it's home, it's here, and it's time to get it unloaded and start working on it. But, you know, we'll just look at it here while it's sitting on the trailer. The old radiator hose has given up and leaked quite a bit of antifreeze out on my trailer floor and kind of all over the tractor, which, whatever, no big deal. I believe Jeff said he did put a bar on the flywheel or the ring gear teeth, and it turned a little, but he didn't take it very far. I plan on pulling the spark plugs out and soaking all of the cylinders for at least 24 hours before we try to rotate this thing at all. Just sitting here looking at it, things when we got all these out down there, it's kind of a whirlwind deal, kind of on a timeline, just needed to get done. So didn't get to look too hard at this guy. And first things first, very interesting, 8-bolt front hubs. 8-bolt front hubs with 750 20 front tires, which most 806s I get that are standards or Wheatlands are on like 1000 16s, so that's an interesting option that somebody spec'd this guy out for. And then 18 434s on the rear with the extra wide rear fenders. A lot of them have the narrow style fenders like that 806 Wheatie over there, but standards, yeah, kind of whatever. It's got the 301 gas. I know I said 263 in the first video on this. It's a 301, so bigger bore and stroke. Well, probably bore motor, I would assume. So higher horsepower than 263 or 291. Serial number 3409. I806L for LP, and then an S and Y. One of those is hydraulic pump, the other one it is a TA tractor. It's a 1964 model tractor, I believe. Got one set of IH factory wheel weights or IH made wheel weights on the outside, cast wheel weight on the inside. That's probably about a 250 300 pounder there, maybe a little bit more. And then it's got wheel weights here on the inside too. Those are probably 500 pounders. So she's a little heavy. Got the old Co-op Agri-Power tires on it that are pretty ancient. No PTO at all. Factory, no PTO, no rock shaft, nothing here on the back end. And one remote that is obviously rubbing apart. Yeah, it's only got one block there under the seat. No 3-point, like I said, single lever. It's got the tall lever, not the cast iron lever, which is kind of interesting. That one over there is a later serial number. 806 up there against the shed's a really early one. Up here on the dash, no fuel gauge because it's an LP tractor. Reads 5,900 in 8 hours. You got your air filter gauge down there, coolant, amperage, whatever else. TA levers there. Some nice buggy top brackets on it, kind of cool. Missing the center out of the steering wheel, not a big deal. Pedals aren't all that war looking. Don't have a ton of side to side play, which it really shouldn't have a lot of side by side play, being it was just a tillage tractor. In western Kansas, probably never pulled a plow or anything like that. The floor pan is cut here, which is actually a really common mod, so you can get to the range cover and pull it off without pulling your floor pan, because pulling the floor pan sucks. But pretty normal to pull the range cover on one of these. They get sloppy over time. Shifters, haven't really messed with those much, but they're not like gouged into the shifter cover here, which is a really common thing on a lot of 806s that shifted, or any 06 series that shifted gears a lot. Gauge reads exactly nothing, and when I was messing with this a second ago, the liquid valve was actually wide open, and then this one Not currently doing anything, so I have to look into what's going on there. But that's your fill bungs on there. Gauge is empty, so we'll have to figure something out here to get fuel to this tractor, because I think this tank's going to need a little bit of work before it's ready to go. We'll have to see about getting new valves for it, which hopefully I can source those. I really never had to look into getting that for propane stuff before. Side of the tank has some good information on it about, you know, what year it was made and whatnot. Tank was built in 64. I think this 64 model year, or maybe 65 tractor. I can't remember. Made in Lubbock, Texas at Western Tank and Steel Corp. Toolbox doesn't have a lot of fun stuff in it. One of these badges actually fell off sitting at Jeff's, which I'm glad it fell off there and not on the road, because that's a hard badge to find. Not a lot of goodies, just some bolts and stuff in there. Most of the sheet metal here is all, I don't notice any missing sheet metal or anything like that, so it's all intact. It doesn't have any remotes or anything up underneath the dash like some tractors do. Got radiator hoses, junk. Got some wiring unhooked here. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on there. Worst comes to worst, we just get a new wiring harness for it. They aren't all that expensive. Missing the generator altogether, so gonna have to get a generator. I think I have a part 706 with a locked up 282 that should have that on it, I hope. Exhaust manifold seems to all be intact and good. I would really love to not have to take that apart. Obviously we're gonna have to figure out how to get propane to this thing, so I might need to do some looking there as to what we're gonna do to feed it fuel for a while, because I'll probably just end up taking that line off for a little bit, maybe. I don't know, we'll have to think about it. Oil here, obviously probably need to replace that rubber boot. That looks original and very dry. It's over full. Don't remember it being over full on oil, but looks to be. I don't know what to dig into that. Hopefully the block's not cracked or anything like that. If it is, we can figure it out. But we'll drainer before we run it very much. We'll pop that off so we can bar it over. Starter. Dust covers are here, which is great. Battery boxes rusted out. Not a big shock. I do have other battery boxes, so that's not really a big deal. Same story over here on weights and such. Yeah, that badge is missing there. If you like to pull the air filter off these, I like to, because then it kind of tells you a better idea the last time some of this stuff was serviced, because most of the time air filters are dated. Seat's gone. It's the early style seat. I'll have to get new cushions for that. It's just 2 pieces on one of those. Drawbar hole has some wear, so she did some tillage. I mean, not really a big shock, but yeah, paint is pretty poor. I don't plan on doing much paint-wise to this thing, just kind of leaving it the heck alone. Just cleaning some of the moss and dirt and stuff off of it, and leaving it as is. I might actually give it like a clear coat treatment just to kind of save what's left of it, or just leave it entirely alone, because that's really okay too. It's a cool tractor, very good appearing tractor, very straight. All the hard pieces of sheet metal are here, so why mess with it, right? So I guess it's time to unchain it, get it down off the deck, and then start seeing about pulling spark plugs out of it and getting like hydraulic oil or ATF down in the cylinders. Just whatever I got laying around today. Jim says, hey, where's your buddy the cat that's usually out here? 180 LP sitting over there without the loader on it. Looks good. But yeah, so I guess we'll get her down, huh? Okay, down off the deck. Nothing too interesting to show there. So yeah, I'm gonna, first things first, pop spark plugs out, and we'll pull the air filter access cover off too while we're here, and see what we got, and then we'll get something down in the cylinders, probably ATF or hydraulic oil or whatever's in my pickup today. We could talk a little bit about, yeah, while we're doing this, just comparing some contrast some 806s. This one, standard, TA, bareback, one remote, rigid wide front, wide fenders. We talked about all that stuff. You got the other 806 Wheatland that came from the same place over here. It again, bareback as well. This one's dual remote, long levers on the hydraulics, adjustable wide front, which is actually a pretty hard to find option on the Wheatlands and standards. This is really early one with the RD pump. It's a diesel, so we've been over all that stuff. Narrow fenders on the back. My 1206 has the same fenders as that guy on it. Yeah, it's got the dust shields on it. Step to get on and off. That one's got dust shields as well over there. What other little quirks on this guy? This one has the long levers just like the one over there. No PTO again here, 2 remote. Then this guy over here, we've seen it before. It came with a really nice Dual 300 loader on it. 63806, really early serial number guy. Clamshell fenders because it's an early one. Adjustable row crop wide front, which is different than the standard wide front that's over there. Cool that there are differences. TA on this guy. There's your short hydraulic levers there. It's also got the early pedal variation over here. What else? Different heat exchanger, oil cooler over there. Fast hitch on this tractor. It doesn't have the proper setup there, but I can swap that out pretty quick. I've got the parts. Cast iron PTO lever, which the later, that tractor is a bad example. The later ones went to a bent steel one. Just a different variation of stuff. And then you could throw in a late 806 row crop too, and it'd have clamshells on it, different injection pump, different handles on a bunch of stuff. There's just, things changed a lot in 5 years of production on these things. But I've had my fair share of them. So it's fun to point them out. This one, it's got double holes too. So does that one over there for dipstick and fill is a separate hole. Later tractors with just one. So just kind of all the little things you look at on these girls. I've, you know, dove into a few of them, but I'm going to grab wrenches here and some WD-40 and we'll start pulling spark plugs and that cover off. Oh man, those are stuck on there good. Ooh, got one broken spark plug, so that's a scary sign. There we go. I broke that spark plug wire getting that one off. But whatever. Probably 7/8. But let's lube those up. Grab a ratchet and see what we got. We'll start with number 6. Wish I had a borescope to show down in here. That one came off nicely, at least. Didn't act like it was gonna be hard to break free. Yeah, very, very clean. Nothing interesting at all. I mean, very, very clean. Looks like it's burning just fine. Old Champion D15Y plugs. Go to number 5. And that one's got some carbon on it for sure, a little bit of soot going on there. But yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to see what we find, truthfully. The one that scares me here is the one with the broken off spark plug. That is concerning, actually. But you don't know until you know. At least they're coming loose. I pulled the plugs on that 460 LP utility we made a video about. Those took some force to get loose. That was a little nerve-wracking on a couple of them. And I sprayed those down good too. Let them sit for a couple hours. Number 4. Again, very clean, not sooty at all. Nice and brown, running fine. Number 5 could be running poorly. Okay, number 3, the one with the broken spark plug. This is the one that concerns me greatly. I can't get my socket on there. What the heck? Okay, it's coming loose. Okay, nothing, just broken off, like somebody was trying to change them or got hit or something is broken off there, but not like it's rusty all down. It's brown, but not rusty really. So I don't know, that's not that scary. Move on to number 2, I guess. Yeah, same story. Number 2's good. Move to the last one, number 1. There's enough dirt built up around the plugs. It's hard to get my socket down in there. Got a sprayer coming by or something by the sound of it. Guy's been putting a lot of dry fertilizer the last couple days while it was nice. Yep, liquid fertilizer on that guy. And same story. Just fine, nothing scary. Good deal. We have to go find some stuff to spray down in those cylinder bores now. We're gonna try to pop this cover off here. Try not to break those guys off. Comes my cat. I know you're supposed to use flatheads, big flathead screwdriver on these, but rarely does that, especially on rusty ones, does that actually work out. So a lot of times you end up with pliers. Okay, let's pull air filter cover. spray that. Okay, what's your guys' guess on what year this air filter was installed? Drop it in the comments here. Pause it, drop it in the comments, and then I'll count to 10 and let you guys know. 10. Oh my. Oh my. Well, when Bob told me it had been since the 80s, since this thing had ran, I'd say the 80s was a good guess. 3,932 hours. That means they put 2,000 hours on this air filter. Last cleaned 5/9 of 85 was installed in 1980. That's a February 1980 air filter, right up there on the top. Feb 80. Yikes. It's not the oldest air filter I've ever seen. I've actually pulled some out of 806s and 706s that were dated 1967. So that's not that bad. Yeah, I think it's been since the 80s since this has run. Last cleaned 5/9 of 85. Wowzer, okay. He wasn't kidding, so we're looking at 40 years probably since this has ran. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. We're gonna pull this filter out now and just see what she looks like, I guess. I mean, that's nothing else left to do. We'll have to get a new filter for it. I'll put this on the shelf since it's an IH filter. Oh, might have to sit you guys down to get that out of there, though. Send a snapshot. Pliers. And like, I'll run it on this for a little bit. Like, that doesn't really bother me, but it's a little stuck in there. And rusty. I mean, it's got the normal mouse nestage going on in there, but it's got dust in it. There you go. IH. There's your warning. Got some rust going on there. Dust falling out of it like it ran yesterday. Has the normal mouse nest down in there. That's nothing new. I've seen that a lot worse before. They crawl in through, well, there's an air hole right here. They come up and through and go into the air filter housing. Usually they don't get through the air filter, at least. Just a pretty normal problem. But yeah, I'll get my funnel or something and we'll fill those cylinders with ATF. Okay, found what I wanted. Viscosity Old Traction, which is the old IH Hytran that was always made by Viscosity. Case IH switched to Shell formulation, but that's what we're using. I'm actually a dealer for Viscosity oils, Old Traction, 1540, pretty much anything you guys can get from Viscosity. I have some of it in stock on territorialtrading.com, my website. So if you're needing oil for your old IH tractors, I'm your guy. I can get SAE 30. I don't have any in stock because I just use 1540. But I have all your Viscosity oil needs for all your IH tractors. Old Traction Original, antifreeze, engine oils. I can get grease. Yeah, so if you're needing that, you know, reach out. Got it on the website and I can ship. I have some in stock, but this is what we're going to use to put in the cylinders. And I just prefer to use a lube gun for this job. It's about the cleanest way I found to do it, because you can put the hose down the spark plug hole and gently feed it in. Like I said, about the cleanest way. There is no perfectly clean way to do this, I don't think. And we'll just probably fill them each one time, and maybe go add a little bit more to a couple of the other ones. I haven't found any one cylinder yet that seems to be all the way up. Oh boy, might have a leak. My lube gun may be failing. Happens. That's messy. Oh my, okay, that was very messy. I don't know what's going on here, but we're making a good mess. Okay, that cylinder's full. So that means 2 and 5 are probably close to the top of the stroke. Jesus, making a good mess of this today. Probably time for a new lube gun. Okay. All the cylinders have some in it, and I think we'll just call it good there, as messy as this has turned out to be. Go find some paper towels. Okay, now that that's done, the only thing left to do is put spark plugs back in and leave her sit. I need to see about sourcing radiator hoses for it, I can tell. And I need to do some research on valves for the tank. Just can't really do anything without those. Definitely can't fill the tank. Another thing I did notice over here, that is still an IH muffler. Quite cool that it's still there and intact. We'll try to save that as best as possible. You go through my salvage tractor stock and see about getting a generator on here too. I should have something. I would say, yeah, that's about all we got. Don't think the park brake lever moves currently, so I might spray down some of that stuff, try to get it moving. Yeah, see about a non-rusty battery box, probably new battery cables, because those are probably junk by now. And just kind of go from there. About all I can think of at the moment. Might try to take some emery cloth to that steering cylinder too, because if we ever really steer a lot, it's going to eat up the seals on that pretty fast. Need that boot there on the intake to the carburetor. There's one right here behind there I probably ought to replace too, just so it doesn't suck dust in. See about a seat, maybe, if I care enough. Hydraulic hoses there need redone, quite obviously, because they're done. Let's say International Harvester on though. Might be able to stick them and make them work, but basically just gonna get out the WD-40 and spray down a bunch of stuff on this girl and pop spark plugs back in, and we'll come back maybe tomorrow or Saturday and get a bar out and see if we can rotate the motor over. And I don't think we'll make it to run real soon, but you never know. Might hit it with some starting fluid too. Well, after a bunch of running around today and just working on random projects and things like that, finally time to put a bar on this and see if it rotates 360 degrees. It's been about 24 hours since I put all that hydraulic fluid down in the cylinders. So grab a ratchet, extension, and 7/8 socket, and a 7/16 socket. Pop the spark plugs out, pop the flywheel access hole off. It's just a timing access, I suppose. And a bar. And I'm going to set you guys up here on the fender, pointed at the fan. Hopefully you can see the fan. And we will hopefully bar this thing over 360 degrees. Okay, got the plugs all out of it. So we'll pull this cover off here to access the flywheel ring gear. It's just for timing the tractor mostly, but that's what we're after. And yeah, so just put a bar on it. I mean, that's all there is to it. Ooh. Okay, we have some rotation. Harsh, mind you. I can hear oil running out of the pistons already, or out of the cylinders. It's getting easier. Flywheel ring gear looks excellent. Not like it doesn't look like it's been abused or cranked hard, or so the thing must have ran pretty good. You can tell a tractor they had trouble getting running usually because the ring gear is all chewed up on this flywheel. But this one looks amazing, really. Okay, there's starting to get a little tough again. But we're rotating through fairly well. I mean, you're moving some rust and carbon around. Oh boy, okay. There's a hard spot. Right there. It's definitely chunky. Just be gentle. Oh boy. Yep, wonder which. It'll be whatever cylinder is running out here. So it looks like it's number 3 and 4. It would probably be our sticky ones currently, because those come up together. I don't know. Just part of it. Stuff's been sitting. I mean, if the valve was hung open, it'll get stuff in there. 3 was also the one with broken off spark plug, interestingly enough. Don't know what to think of that, but set you guys right back up there and keep right on going through it. Yeah, fairly harsh. Let's try to take our time here. Getting a little easier. Oh yeah, now it's real easy. Oh, that's like nothing now. Could put a battery in it and crank it, probably. So I need to go find a generator for it on a parts tractor, or I could put an alternator on it. There's nothing wrong with putting an alternator on. We would know it is charging with a good 1-wire alternator on it, which a lot of tractors ended up with over the years. Spinning really, really easy. Okay, now we're getting a little hard again. Back in that same spot. Sure, not near as hard as it was. Now we're easy again. Back to hard. It's not that bad. Okay, now I need to watch, see if I can find TDC here. Okay, well, I don't know if we'll find it, but we're just gonna spin it over one more time and quit here, because, yeah, there's TDC. There's my mark. Get my phone out and shine in there. Yep. That's 10 degrees right there, is what it says. Can't quite read it, but it's loose. And it has made it all the way around multiple times now. So I would say from here, next step is put a battery in it, make sure we got spark, and then we got to figure out fuel. Now, if I can figure out what this fitting is right here, with my fingers on, it's the inlet to all this propane stuff. I'm not that well versed in this. I think this is a regulator. If we find an inlet or hose that'll go from that to like a 5-gallon propane tank, I think we can at least attempt to fire this thing up. I just gotta find a hose that does that. This fitting here just freewheels, so I'll have to find that. And then this was actually wide open, and I just closed it. Now, once the tractor came off the trailer here. So, definitely gonna have to get that deal figured out and get the tank so I can put fuel in it again. But that's kind of the next step here. Get fuel figured out, put a battery in it, make sure it has spark. Need to source radiator hoses still. I did get the shifters were actually all like stuck and wouldn't move, but I put WD-40 on them and let them soak for a little while. And earlier today I got them, so they all move. This one's a little chunky still, but they do move through gears now, so that is wonderful. TA was the same way. It moves nice now. Throttle levers a little chunky too, but it's getting there. Brake pedals, kind of the same story. Park brake lever still does not move. That might require heat. That moves. Just, you know, it's got a nice layer of surface rust that's holding a lot of stuff together here. But we'll have to mess with it and get it going. As you can see, we definitely made a mess over here, much like the Massey 180, but yeah, it's part of it. It rotates through. Just gotta make her run now. Pretty close here, as long as I can get fuel and none of the regulators and carburetor stuff's messed up, which some has been sitting 40 years is a little scary, but we're gonna do our best here. Well, if not, I will get the parts to fix this tractor and do it right, because this is a cool tractor in low production. I think I found last night, after quite a bit of research, honestly, that it is one of 82 produced. So low production and really cool original that nobody's gonna fuck up and paint, because it's mine. I hate painted tractors, no offense. The best way to disguise a piece of shit is paint it. But that's just my soapbox that I probably shouldn't I should probably get down off now before I offend too many people. I just don't like painted stuff. It's not my thing. I'd rather buy something that is original and easily represented than something that is dolled up pig. That's it. There are some very nice restorations out there. Very, very nice restorations that cost 40, 50 grand. But 99% of the stuff I run into that is painted is just dolled up junk. And this isn't junk. Nor is it dolled up, and that is fine. This thing will hopefully be running. And I will hook it to some drills or something, or spring tooth, a drag harrow, something, and use it this spring. Is my hope, just to prove that we can, you know, take a tractor that's sat for 40 years and take it back to work. Plain and simple. But that's it for this evening. Go grab kids from daycare, and hopefully next time I'm back on camera, I have a fuel source figured out, and we can get spark across the points and make this son of a gun run. Guys, I think I have secured the needed hose, which is just a regular gas grill hose with a regulator on it, and that with the outlet that will go to the regulator on the 806 propane, and hopefully it'll just be running on vapors. I think I might have set the tank on its side, so I'll just strap it to the tractor on its side, I guess, and hopefully we can make an 806 propane run today. Yeah, kind of exciting. We'll have to get a battery tossed in it too, and spin the motor over some without spark plugs in it to clean out all the hydraulic fluid I had down the motor, and then clean points. Might have to hot wire points, I don't know, it's hard to tell. That's what we're gonna do. Grabbing a propane bottle now, and then we're gonna see how this goes. There's a good chance this thing could run for the first time in 40 years today, which would be amazing, and make me feel good too, because I really like this tractor, and be cool to have it running and usable, because I would use it. Do need to track down fittings for the tank, but for the valves, but I talked to a friend and he knows where I can get some of those, and yeah, so we're gaining. And then I got to get myself set up to fill the propane tank. I need to look around at all the propane tanks we have around the farm, because we have more than a few, and we might have one with a wet leg on it so I can fill a tractor. We'll see. It'd be nice to fill that one for sure, and also be good to play with the filling the 180 propane, since yeah, it's around 2 now. Okay, tank's rigged up. We're not messing with that yet. I just put a battery in this thing and have the spark plugs out of it. So we're gonna hopefully see if the motor will crank, and then go from there. I did turn the switch on. No lights here on the dash at all, so nothing happens there. So obviously either the battery I put on here is dead, or we have electrical issues on this tractor, which wouldn't be not a shock at all. So let's try this real quick. Got nothing there. No. Oh, we have life. It might have bad contacts. Let's grab a different tool for this. Okay, try this again. Got that positive battery cable is not great. Yeah, we'll have to dick with that. Okay, I went with vice grips as a clamp there. Not sure it's releasing. Nope. Might have starter troubles too. We're gonna take this cover off and bar the motor over a few more times. Okay, let's try it now. I think we're gonna have to put my pickup on this because we are not cranking. Oh, it's getting better. It's gonna knock all the rust off the inside of the cylinders. That sounds a little better. Let's walk around here and see what kind of mess I made today. We pushed a little bit of stuff out, not too bad. That's nice and yucky looking though. I'm gonna hook my pickup and jumper cables up to it and see if it would get it crank a little faster. Just see if it acts better. I do need to track down one spark plug too, but I should be able to rob that from something around here, I think. Okay, old Reliable over there is hooked up to the battery here, so we're gonna crank her some more. That's a little better. Oh yeah, we're getting faster. A lot better. A lot better sounding. Pushing more junk out too, so. Okay, cool. I'm gonna let that battery charge. It's now time to see if we have any spark here. I would highly doubt we do. I even doubt further now that we do. As much crap is inside that distributor. Oh boy, come on off there. There we go. Got the rotor off. I gotta get the dust cover out of there somehow. Dang, I'm set you guys down. Well, the dust cover there, I ended up having to break off, and yeah, the inside of that's pretty ugly. The spring is actually rusted off there. Yeah, that's not good. So I will have to go get a set of points, which weirdly enough, I just bought a whole bunch of new old stock IH parts, and there's like probably 100 new old stock points sets in there and capacitors. So that'll probably do, and I might look and see. I bet I have the dust cover that can go in there, and probably a rotor button as well. That's original IH parts though. Feel bad about that, but I mean the whole dust cover just it wouldn't come out, so I ended up just taking and shoving this in it and hammering it through it and breaking it off. That was about the only way it was coming out of there. So yeah, I'm gonna let this pickup sit here and idle, and I'll run in and grab the parts I need, it looks like, because that's where we're at. Fun. Oh, the joys of old tractors. Okay, collectors, look away. This might hurt a lot of you, but I've got at least 50 each of these at home from a friend that sold me a bunch of parts he cleaned out of an old IH dealership in Colorado. As you can see, this point set is shot, the springs broke. Figured while we're in there, replace the condenser. Well, guess what? I got a brand new old stock condenser there, and a brand new old stock point set, and we're gonna put them to use. I would say those are the same. It doesn't say 806 on the back of this, but we're just gonna assume that will work. It sure as hell looks the same to me. So now I get to break open these packages, so let's do that. brand new condenser we're gonna go install. A brand new set of points. Probably 60-year-old parts there. Don't hate me too much. Well guys, I'd like to tell you this is going good, but I got some weird, the old distributor with all the new components in it was shorting through there funny and acting really weird and not sparking like it should. So I decided that maybe the rust inside there had compromised something. And I went and yanked another distributor there out of the salvage 656 I had that was running until it got parked at a co-op, and then water got in the engine and it locked the motor up. So should be good. We're gonna drop it in here and hopefully that is what moves us along. But now I get to sort of kind of guess my way at retiming a motor. Really not a big deal. We can figure that out pretty easy. Not gonna lie, that took some experimentation, trial and error, but we now have really good spark, and we're throwing arcs up here too for some great reason, but we have great spark, as you can hear. So that is wonderful. We will put plugs in this thing now and put that stuff back together. Okay, plugs are in it. You might hear some arcing because the coil wire is, well, not great. I can go rob one in a minute off the 656, but we're gonna see how this turns over with plugs in it. Definitely got a cylinder or two there that might be a little down on compression or high on compression or one or the other. But next thing is to turn fuel to it. So we will do that carefully. I don't hear anything leaking anywhere. Hear the regulator doing things. So partial throttle. Don't think the choke cable works currently, but we're gonna try to fire this. I'm gonna set you guys up over here so I can do a few things at once. Wind's blowing today, so you get what you get. Hook this back up to the pickup. Okay, it is sitting here running, but not well. I think I need to check firing order for sure. Again, we don't have any water in it. We definitely have a miss or something, or timing off here, or firing order off. But it is sitting here running for the first time in 40 years. So that is a pretty good accomplishment there. But yeah, I should probably shut it off. The motor, that is loud. The belt pulling apart is loud, but the motor itself, very quiet and sounds very good. I wonder if the tack drive works. But I'm messing with that air escaping right there. Must have a spark plug that's not tight. But it's running for the first time in 40 years. Oh my, that was a struggle and a half. Okay, probably time to shut her down. It runs! The backfiring at the car scared the hell out of me, not gonna lie. But it does run, so progress. I'm gonna check firing order. Well guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I already filmed the ending to this once, and then when I was editing, I realized I had no audio. So we're back out here, but this thing does run and drive. I did put it in gear and go back and forth. That sort of stuff's fine. It does move. I don't have steering yet, but we'll dig into that more. Get the heck out of here. Dig into that more later. Who the heck knows? It's sat for a long time. The MCV pump probably just needs bled, but I'm not that worried about that part of this thing. Currently, like I said, radiator hose. Need to figure out tank, valves, and a few other things. And this will be an ongoing project, but we're going to make her usable again, hopefully. But it needs belts too, because those are, well, they're laying there. They're junk. And we just got to get this thing sorted back out and running. That's what happens when a tractor sits for 40 years. But we'll get there. I don't know. It's kind of a cool rig overall. Saw somewhere it's 182, and so that's probably true. But we're going to kind of end this one here. Hope you like this one. Let me know what you think of this tractor. Let me know what you think of me. Do I look like an Amish guy? I mean, maybe. I got the beard, kind of. Just shave my mustache and we'd be there. But that's kind of it. We're going to work on this guy when we get time. Got enough projects going on for a little while. Some good stuff coming down the line too. And yeah, we've got plenty of tractors with salvage parts if you're in need of anything like that. We got toys and stuff on territorialtrading.com if you're into needing that sort of thing. If you need parts or anything like that, please reach out to me through my email that's in the description, or on any of the social media outlets at Team Monty IH is my handle. So you can find me there. But we're gonna go check heifers and go hang out with my kids and wife and have a great evening. But you guys take care. Go drag something out of the weeds and get it running.